Alright guys, what's up? I know, I don't know if you guys got the memo yesterday that I was going to be a little bit behind. See if we can make something out of nothing. See if we can make something out of nothing. I know Micron, Rivian, market's pulling back right now. Oh dude, come on bro, you're killing me, man. It's fucking hot. Alright, what time do we got here? It's 10 o'clock. Again, I hope you guys are doing well. I don't know if people are going to be finding this stream or not. It is what it is, but I figured I'd at least try. So if you guys could, maybe you guys could throw a little bit of information down below and let me know what's going on today. All right, so come on, man. I don't like this, but all right, so we're breaking that level there. All right, so you have to watch for a little bit of support down at 508.50 area. We are down 7%, 0.7%, 0.7%. I'm sorry. I would like to try and look for a dip buy opportunity. Look at this volume though, right out the gates. We have some pretty decent volume. You can see this inverse head and shoulders here that's been forming. I saw this morning. We saw this gap way down here. 502, 503, whatever you want to call it. I would say 502.45 would be the level I would look for a dip buy. But I doubt we get there. That's a long ways away from where we're at. Alright, so 15-minute chart. I could have swore. Okay, bang. It's like majority to the buy side. Sell. Yeah, let's see if we get a dip buy down here at 508.50. Okay, it's only been a half hour. Alright, so it has been a half hour. Let's look at the 30-minute and see where we're at. Damn! Hot damn! That's some pretty big volume, especially coming through right now. Alright. Alright, does the stream look okay? It does. Alright. No, man. Come on. Let's look at Rivian, Micron. Micron's pulling back now. Did that get was that an upgrade or a downgrade on Micron? I can't remember. I feel like it was a downgrade.
BNAI, Brand Engagement Networks, resume trading rather than November Alpha India. So I think they're going to be a bit slower than people were expecting. Shares off the highs now at 8.
So we have 91.50 on Micron to watch out for. Let me look at the 15-minute chart here. Yeah, that is a pretty big resistance level right there. At or possibly could be at 93. Pockets got bad. I would also watch GLD today.
OTLK Outlook Therapeutics was halted at the high $6.85 on relatively light volume.
GLD's pulling back. I actually want to see if I can get a dip buy on on gold. I want to see if gold will give me another dip buy opportunity. 199, 199. I mean, technically, this would be a dip buy, but it looks like it's pulling back. XOM getting ready to pull back. It looks like JP Morgan. No, JPM. Just want to scan the markets real quick. Apple. Mm, 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 mm. Let's see. Will Apple break here? I'm wondering if Apple will break this level. I want to see if it can and get back down to 169. I think Apple's got room down to 169, guys. All right, that might be the first one I attacked this morning. Damn. Son, where'd you find this one? You can see we're rolling over there. We'll see if it pops back up. See if it pops back up and we sell off later on in the day. 9 EMA right now acting as resistance. Yes, I said yesterday I had a doctor's appointment this morning. I've been trying to figure out why the hell I'm so tired. So I went and got some blood work and whatnot done. Yeah, I mentioned it yesterday. Yeah, just come. If I'm in the markets, why not go live? You know what I mean? I'm not taking a day off, especially on a Friday, and we haven't really moved. I was kind of upset that I thought we'd have a nice day today in the markets. But yeah, no, I had a doctor's appointment. I was so tired this week, and then it feels like it wasn't just me. It feels like there's a lot of people that are tired and stuff. Because I don't know if it's a change in the weather. We've had some really warm weather, and from being cold and then really warm. So I don't know if it's the weather or what. But I know Rivian, Micron, I want to see Apple. I wonder if we can get Apple back down to like 169. If you can break 171. This little trade. VWAP's acting as resistance. 9 EMA is acting as resistance right now. You got a gap ahead of you. You came up and you reversed it up there at 172.50. 172.50 is also Tuesday's like pivot low. Wednesday's pivot high. I want to see if we can get some type of continuation, but I'm looking for the SPY to start to bounce. I feel like we could start to get a bounce down there at 508. I'm not sure though. Let's see. And what's Tesla doing? Let me look at this. Let me scan around the markets real quick. All right, so Tesla is coming in with... Damn, that's a hell of a lot of volume today. See what semiconductors are doing. That's how I'd look at these markets. Yeah, look at the volume coming in down here. See if we get a pullback off of this 9 EMA. So I'm using right now on the 5-minute, the SPY. 5-minute with pre-market and after hours on. It's tapping up into the 9 EMA right now. See if these semis are going to go red or stay green. Let's look at AMD and then NVIDIA. AMD's rocking to the upside. It's bumping right up against that 20-day moving average. All right. Let's see if you have some resistance here, but this volume is pretty decent on AMD. Maybe you have a trade back if the SPY is going to continue. Maybe you have a trade back up to 196.50, 197. Damn, that's a hell of a resistance level. Let me see here real quick. So you made 195 resistance yesterday. Dude, look at AMD just walking itself up. Just walking itself up. Like, that's it's about as clean as it gets. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Alright, so we are getting a low volume pullback right now. Okay, yeah, you guys can see it. We're good. We're good. We're good. Let's look. So we looked at Tesla, Microsoft. Microsoft pulling back. Microsoft's just pretty much pulling right back into that support area. The SPY is at the support area. So maybe Microsoft might be the long. I'm kind of curious. What are y'all thoughts on that? The SPY, is the SPY back down there at 508? Let's go look down here, SPY. Yeah, look, SPY is bouncing right off of that 508.50. Look, and it cut through that mark. Let's go. That's weak ass volume though. That volume's poop. That's why it's good to look at different time frames. Pockets got fatter, car got faster. Oh, days I am on. Chris Brown saying these lows ain't who. These hoes ain't loyal. Coinbase bouncing to the upside. I know Rivian, Micron. Rivian had an upgrade today. You know, it's way below that $12 mark. I don't see why it can't test $12. We know $12 is the level. And right now it's up 4.8%, almost 5%. I think you could see Rivian continue to climb at least to $12. I have to look at the volume though. It doesn't seem like it has much volume. Feels like the volume's to the sell side. But I mean, there's a lot of wicks there too. So what was I watching? SOUN as well. These hoes ain't no yo. How are you doing this morning, Wiz? How's your morning going? I know you said you're taking a little break. Sometimes it's needed. See if you can take the SPY back to 512. Wait. Yeah, the SPY back to 512. See if you can't get a 512 rejection on the SPY. That's what I'd be looking for. I mean, it's $1.50. It's not much, but it's $1.50. Hey, Turkey Butt. What you doing, baby? Hello. I was talking to my cat. All right, look at Boeing. Boeing's up at yesterday's support. or Wednesday support. These Jose Loyo. Look at that. Nice bounce back. She says she loves my.
Certainly has been a rough ride for Tesla lately. The stock down for the last 3 days, on pace now to close the week down more than 7%.
Yeah, I think we got to look for a long on the SPY. At least that's what I'm going to look for. I'm looking to go long on the SPY, the S&P 500. All right. That pivot low would be the target at 512. 512. These Jose ain't loyal. Awesome, bro. Good stuff. Good stuff. Should be a good week next week. We'll see. I think we have Fed meeting next week. I think we have our Fed meeting next week.
Criteria about the innovation, they're all about, hey, the impact on the environment. But when it comes to mass adoption or the mainstream market, the average buyer, they're focused on cost, they're focused on convenience. And when you look at the issues on, the premium for an EV right now, the lack of a full charging infrastructure, and importantly, just the convenience factor of the fact that, it takes, even with a fast charger, 40, 45 minutes to charge these things, the consumer in the mainstream market is going to say, you know what, when you guys figure all that stuff out, then I'll really consider this. But until then, I'll either stick with my internal combustion engine.
This sucks, man. I don't want to overpay, but
hybrids,
man, there's some
a really
relative strength
great
with
solution for
A and B
consumers
right now.
And, that's why hybrid
So
sales
I
and
think if
plug-in
we can get
hybrid
a
sales are up
bounce
so much.
They are. I know it's funny though.
in some of these names, I want to look for
By the
a
way,
long
of
on
course, it's still
AMD.
growing. We didn't talk as much about
I know it's
charging,
pumping right into that
concerns
resistance
or how
level,
long
but
it took or anything else.
let's see.
Is that only coming to the fore now in part because,
Do we
as you
have
say, there are
data
people who are
at
simply more
10:30?
resistant to that,
Or 10.
and
I thought it was at
concerned
10.
about how far
Usually
they can get and whether there's going to be a
consumer
charging
sentiment and
station
stuff
for
comes
them
out
when
at
they get there.
10.
Yeah, I mean, David, when you look at the mainstream market, not everybody has a two-car garage
Yeah,
where
10.
they can put an outlet, a power wall on
76,
the wall
76,
and charge their vehicle
76.
overnight. So they're looking at this and they're saying,
Everything
listen,
pretty
across
much
every
right in
demographic,
line.
whether you're
Okay.
rich, poor, or everything in between, the one luxury every consumer has is time and convenience. And if you're going to make things more challenging for them, then they're going to say, you know what, until you figure that out, then I'll consider it. But yeah, it's getting down to meat and potato issues for consumers. And listen, the market's still going to grow, as you mentioned up front. It set a record last year in the U.S. of over 1.1 million units. It was up like almost 50%. It'll probably get to about 10% of the market maybe this year. But the fact of the matter is the pace that all the automakers were expecting is not there. And that's why you're seeing, the EV market act like
Right.
the industry of old with, price cuts and rising inventory and increased incentives.
Yeah, but the transition is still in place. I mean, we're only going to get a more robust charging infrastructure. The incentives seem to be in place. The Chinese are driving a lot of this as well, right? So it may be the transition takes longer, Mark, but you're not a believer that says the transition won't happen.
Oh, the transition will absolutely happen, but it's going to take longer. There's no question about that. The transition's going to happen. But even if you look at when cars were invented, right? If you look 100 years later, you know, what do people still have? They actually still have horses, right? And that's that's folks that can afford to have them and ride them. You know, if you go out 50, 60 years as the industry transitions to electric vehicles, you will still have a certain amount of internal combustion engines, which will be used for collector's items, et cetera. But it's going to happen. And I
What are you
think the
doing,
thing
baby?
along the way, David,
What are you doing?
is what is going to happen to all the startups that have, started over the last couple of years? Because with this longer path, a number of them are going to get into real financial trouble. And you're seeing that play
I
out
still
right
want to
now.
see if we can get a
Is it just
196
about
out of
price,
AMD.
Mark? I mean, readings
It's only
about
up
some of these
2%.
BYD
I'm
cars, the one
gonna
that they're
try and go
selling
for it.
I think under $10,000.
I'm gonna go for it.
And their most popular vehicle
Let
now,
me make
they've
sure I got
dropped
my
prices to
volume and
a little
everything
over
that I need.
$16,000. We don't have anything like that, do we?
No, we don't have anything like that here in the States. But keep in mind, Sarah, the reason
I
they have
don't
those
like
those
that
cars
it's.
in China is the Chinese government for the past 10 to 15 years has really been supporting these companies with grants and incentives and
195.
things of that nature. And of course, they have the labor
Fuck,
advantage.
it's gonna
They
break
have
out
some
as
of
soon as I
the
want to do
input
it. Why
cost
does this
advantage
always
of the
happen?
elements, et cetera.
Like I can.
But it's not just price.
I
as
always
you look
sense
about
like
electrification
the
growing
buy
here in
trigger, and
the
I'm like,
US.
oh yeah, let me go
It's
buy,
about
and
the
then it just
charging
goes.
infrastructure. It's about the convenience, as we talked about. But there are also some new concerns. Insurance
Oh, that's
on
not good.
EVs are
Look
higher
at that.
than existing ones, and this is all overlaid. I mean, you were talking earlier in the hour about consumers moderating and looking at the environment we're in. We're in a very different economic
Watch this
environment,
level right
a
here.
more
That
stressed
volume
environment
is.
with higher interest
It's
rates, and
pretty
that
decent on the
suppresses
1
the whole
minute,
market.
but
And that's why Tesla, for example, is going from a golden era where they literally had no competition and very
191.
favorable market environment to a really challenging era now where they have competitors and a less than favorable market environment.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the financial stresses that some of the pure EV makers, not Tesla, may face as a result of this transition stretching out over a longer period. Does that mean the Rivians and Lucids of the world may not be long for this world, Mark?
Well, it all depends on how patient their investors are going to be. But the whole thesis behind these new automakers was, listen, we're going to
Unbelievable. We're
introduce
already
these
almost
products
there.
on the high end.
That trade's
Then we're
not
going to
happening,
introduce
guys.
lower
Sorry.
priced products, and we're going to be able
I'm
to
not going
introduce
with. I'm
them.
not
So we're
going
gonna
for
get
that.
scale over time. And you're not seeing
That
that
sucks.
scale happen. And in the auto industry,
That
unless
sucks.
you have
That
scale,
fucking blows,
you
man.
can't drive down your
Excuse
costs.
my language.
And so there's only so many people that can buy
Fuck.
a $70,000, $80,000 electric vehicle, and you're seeing that play out in a
You
number
know, I
of the
do.
players
I
right
think
now,
you got room
where,
to 195,
anytime you listen to an
196 level.
earnings
I would
call
not do
where
it. The
the
risk to
CEO or
reward's not
CFO
worth it
says,
there.
here's how much cash we have, and
Let's
it
see
will
what
last us
Microsoft's
until
doing.
X
See if
date.
it's going to come up off
Then
of
you
this
gotta,
level.
You gotta stand up and take notice of that.
Yeah, and we will, and we have, in part thanks to your help. Mark, thank you. Appreciate it.
Do that.
Some nice volume there.
Still to come, the latest on TikTok as we continue to monitor the likelihood of a ban in the U.S. And a quick
come
programming
on.
note, next hour on Money Movers. Don't miss New York City developer Bill Rudin breaking down the commercial real estate market and the NYCB fallout. That's at 11 a.m. Eastern time. We'll be right back with the Dow
Look
down
at Amazon putting in
90 or
this
so
inverse
points.
head and shoulder here, possibly. See if you can get like that left shoulder or that right shoulder to form. This would be a really nice pattern, break above, to go fill that gap above you. I think this thing's been traded a lot though this week. So you have possible resistance here. You gap under it. I don't know if there's any news, but there's supplier Taiwan semi global expansion AI revenue growth despite overbought signals.
Expertise to accelerate your business. Given market dynamics, where should companies focus?
I think the biggest question for our clients is a build versus buy conversation.
Companies really have to understand how to generate true consumer insights.
Boards are really focused on scenario planning, given the geopolitical and economic uncertainty.
So Micron, MU. I don't know when my chart started doing this, but it's getting annoying. I put in the ticker and I start to type it, and then it just types it next to the other one. Rivian, upgrade. It's not really moving right now. Let me go run over to CNBC or investing.com and see what we have. Oh shit, Adobe. We still have Adobe. So was
Welcome back. We're continuing to track, of course, the progress being made in the bill that would ban TikTok in the U.S., barring a sale of the business here. It's now in the Senate's hands, having passed the House earlier this week, and could move fairly quickly. We'll be getting updates on that as things move along. But between Schumer, Mark Warner, Maria Cantwell, Lisa Monaco from the DOJ, any number of people who are sort of seen as key here in terms of moving it along, whether it's part of an appropriations bill. The point being, it may move faster than perhaps is expected. TikTok.
Let's see if we can get a bounce out of Microsoft here. I haven't looked at Google.
Viciously.
Spy's pulling back. See if we can get a bounce.
Continue to track, of course, the progress
Off of the
being
Spy.
made in the bill that would ban TikTok in the U.S., barring a sale of the business here. It's now in the Senate's hands, having passed the House earlier this week, and could move fairly quickly. We'll be getting updates on that as things move along.
I thought Joe said something about rights.
Schumer, Mark Warner, Maria Cantwell,
Talking about,
Lisa Monaco from the DOJ, any number of
my God,
people
what
who
would
are
you do?
sort of seen
My
as key here
God.
in terms of moving it along,
My
whether it's part of an
God.
appropriations bill. The point being, it may
Keeping
move
your
faster than
rights, this,
perhaps
that,
is
and the
expected.
third. But then
TikTok
no, you don't have the
obviously
right
has,
to use
woken
TikTok.
up, so to speak, and is
Because the
lobbying
government
fiercely, as
doesn't want
might
you to.
expect, against,
Man,
that
you
bill,
mother.
but,
Y'all gotta stop playing around with these dummies. Anthony Scaramucci or whatever the hell your name is, you a dumbass too. Out here talking about just on Biden's you know what. Fucking idiot.
Of the U.S. TikTok. And as we've reported previously, it seems somewhat unclear and also
Scaramucci.
unlikely that the Chinese
Look at
will
this
allow
fucking
any sort of a
retard.
real technology
Just look at his
transfer
face.
of that included both the algorithm
girl
and
could
the
get it,
source
but
code, and the Journal
look at
today
him.
reporting same.
Like, what is this?
Not a surprise. Yesterday on
Got
Squawk
Biden's
Box,
you know
former
what right all over
Treasury
his face.
Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin
Look, he
said,
can
"Hey,
talk
I'm putting together a
all
group to
this
try to buy
stuff,
TikTok." But
right?
he admitted that there
Get in
would
line,
be some
get in line.
obstacles, namely the
How about
Chinese.
you?
Take
How about you
listen to what
support a
his answer was
president
when asked about that.
that supports
now
people's
is really
actual rights?
Who can figure out a way
Actual
to solve
rights,
the
right?
concerns
Where the
of the
government
U.S.
doesn't
and China
steal
to
all the people's
transfer this
information
without taking
and
what they believe is
use
critical
9/11 as an
technology? That's
excuse,
really what
right?
we use.
To try to gain your and all your family's information and decide what rights you can have and can't have. No, that your government should not have any say. It should not be determined by the government what you can and cannot do, for the most part. As long as you're not a threat to the public.
Maybe that's what they want. Maybe that's in fact
So you're looking like a real dumbass right now.
There's been reporting previously, not just about Mnuchin's group, but Bobby Kotick. But again, what I'm hearing
All
is,
right,
yeah, you can try, but really
Microsoft. Let's see if we can start to bounce here. It's underneath a VWAP. I'm not sure if it will. I gotta find something that's strong here today because I feel like the S&Ps are gonna bounce. What's oil doing? Like, let's look at Exxon. Exxon's above VWAP. We might be able to get a possible dip buy on. Why are my charts doing this, bro? Come on, dude.
Let's bring in Deirdre Bosa. Deirdre, on the private company side of things,
Damn, I
of course,
would have
there's
liked to have
ByteDance. I
had.
know it's a company you followed closely as well. Enormous value there.
Would have liked to have had that level, but it looks like it already pulled back and ran up. All right, so look, Exxon is above VWAP. It's up 0.3%. Let's go see what's strong. Oh shit, Exxon or Oxy's pulling back here.
Right, and David, I think that you were kind of hitting the nail on the head earlier when you were
we're talking about that all-important technology transfer. A lot of the conversations that I'm having here in San Francisco.
Those
is about
tails
what
up there,
would
man.
TikTok actually look like if
Look at
it was
those
separate
tails
from
on that
China.
daily
If
chart.
the Chinese didn't want to transfer the source code, right? It would be a much, much different product in that sense. You wouldn't have that algorithm. Now, I've talked to both people on both sides.
Alright,
So some
let's
say
see
that,
here.
okay,
What we got? What we
Venetian
got going
and
on
this
here?
consortium could, seek out 20 of the best data scientists.
So
to
big cap,
replicate
mega
this
cap
algorithm.
tech was
But then there's other
green
people
yesterday.
who know the Chinese market really well
All right,
also,
banks
who
are
say that
green.
it's not
Let's
that
look at
easy.
like
Meta would have hired those people. Snap would have hired those people. This is a very difficult thing, and there's also
let's look at
the
SoFi.
cultural gap, right? The internet has developed
Hood.
in China very differently than it has
Hood
developed
is
here. For example, they have super
trying
apps.
to
We
go
don't
green
have
here.
that in the same sense here. So TikTok developed in ByteDance, and its Chinese version, Douyin, developed under very different circumstances, and that kind of magic is going to be really difficult to capture. And as you mentioned, David, too, the
Yeah, let's
Chinese aren't
see.
gonna let go
Let's
of that
see.
source code, right? They say that the U.S. is using what they call robber's logic. They see something good, and so they want to keep it for themselves. So I think that is probably the huge sticking point. Like you said, we've been
I'm going
here
way too
before
fast for
a
my
few
computer
years
right
ago.
now.
This got pretty
It's
far
like,
along
bro,
until
hold
it
up a
just-
minute.
everyone involved seemed to realize that
Yeah,
there was
where's
no
that
way
opening
forward.
price? 519.
There is a hope somehow that if you really were to actually institute.
What's the Dow doing? If the Dow is green and the IWM is green, and like you're starting to see like the markets bounce, probably will. If the resistance level on the Dow and the IWM is like a decent ways away, the SPY and Qs will just follow, and the Qs will lag.
3.5 years ago, and they were staggered by how many.
Yeah, the SPY's gonna try to,
machine learning, how advanced they were.
but it has resistance up there at 511
And that was 3.5 years ago.
on the
idea
weekly
that you could hire
chart.
20 people to sort
But
of
that's a
try and
good
make
idea
source
though
code
to
seems to be
keep that in
a big
mind.
fancy
I don't think people do that enough.
When you look at
What's the weekly candle gonna close at? Red or green?
power in
I feel like it's pulled back. Like, what's funny is, no, I'm on a daily right now. Shit.
in the world. So
Wednesday,
it's not going to
Tuesday,
be easy
Monday.
to replicate that. But I think what we've learned
We're
too,
close.
from
We're getting ready to
other
bump
reports
into it.
the
I
SEC
think
most
that
recently
515
is
area
how
could be
valuable
resistance.
TikTok is, right? If you put like a meta multiple
Could
on it,
be.
it's worth more than $100 billion. So that's appealing, especially for the U.S. investors that are already in the company. We talked a lot about that yesterday. There's everyone from Coatue and Tiger and Soft.
The algorithm that powers this thing has been the key to its success.
It's also not clear that it's going to
also,
people,
if we ban TikTok here, right, there's implications for other companies. A few years ago when we were talking about this in 2020, TikTok was the company, the first Chinese company to really make inroads into the American market. Now we have
Oh, look at that.
Shein. So what kind of precedent
In New York, Amelie Rock.
obviously because it's not social media, but it's
Had it in my sack.
right now collecting huge
All right, look here, guys.
data. So
Watch 511. Just keep an eye out on 511.
right, a lot of American apps are already banned.
Can you blast through it?
Twitter, Meta itself, Facebook, and Instagram.
Oh, come on, man.
So do we see a further break
Dude.
between the two? And that's sort of where this is all headed.
Auto manufacturers are really green today. Look at Lee Auto.
And that's not even getting into the politics and the geopolitics. It's complicated. As we had to break, check out the
In New York, Amelie Rock.
steep drop,
Come on.
trading above 72,000.
Look at that bounce.
A decline of roughly 7%.
Obviously, because it's not social media, but it's e-commerce, and they are right now collecting huge amounts of American data. So does this sort of put in play a way for the further bifurcation, right? A lot of American apps are already banned over in China, like Twitter, Meta itself, Facebook and Instagram, Google. So
Watch
do you
that 511.
see breaking off between the two, and that's sort of
Look how the volume kind of just fell off.
Yeah, another reason why we're going to keep a close eye
It's
and
Jose.
continue this conversation with your help, Deirdre. Thank you.
And that's not even getting into the politics and the geopolitics. It's complicated. As we had to break, check out the action in Bitcoin.
It ain't
Suffering
complicated.
a steep drop.
Man, that's a massive inverse head and shoulders, y'all.
A decline of roughly 7%. We're going to continue to monitor. the
It's
crypto
not great,
volatility.
but
Back in a few.
we break above 511. It's on.
Wall Street forecasts over $100 billion in sales for anti-obesity.
Just watch this 90 MA that's coming up
But these treatments are
here on the 15-minute chart.
cumbersome injections. Enter Luxeria Bioscience with their patented oral
I think I'm going to take a long here in a little bit.
GLP-1 suggests
here in a minute.
Side effects and better blood sugar control with reduced spikes. Xeria Bioscience, transforming the future of GLP-1 drug delivery.
Buy low, sell high. Easy to say, hard to do. Interest rates rose, real estate values fell. The market was paralyzed. For us, that means it's time to buy. And you can join us. The Fundrise Flagship Fund, real estate investing built for you.
As an independent financial advisor,
Look at that.
I stand by these promises.
What a beaut.
I promise to be the financial steward.
What a beaut. These hoes ain't loyal. Alright. Tesla reversing here.
Is to help you invest in yours.
Charles Schwab is proud to support the independent financial advisors who are passionately dedicated
It's up a percent. Man, I gotta get on something. I gotta get on something. I'm ready to strike if I can find something, guys.
G7 nations said will respond swiftly, including with new and significant measures against Iran if it sends ballistic missiles to Russia.
Oh, that'll help the market a little bit. If they send ballistic missiles, what are they gonna do? Come up with a new treaty that they don't fucking follow anyway? You better not do that. What makes you think they wouldn't? They're not your friends. Alright, I gotta come up with some ideas, man. It's getting a little too late now. So banks are really strong. BBVA, UBS, Stellantis, that whole sector. Oil, ConocoPhillips or Phillips 66, Marathon. So that's your sector. Copper, SCCO. Alright, so these are your little strengths. And look, telecommunication services. Whatever the hell Vodafone is. ServiceNow's pulling back. CrowdStrike, Adobe, TSM. This is trying to go green, though. Semiconductors are trying to go green with AMD in the lead. Really, it looks like Micron's in the lead.
Welcome back. I'm Pippa Stevens. A Georgia judge ruled this morning that Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis can remain on Donald Trump's Georgia election interference case, but with one major condition. The special prosecutor who she was accused of having an inappropriate relationship with has to go. The judge also found there was no actual conflict brought about by Willis's relationship with Nathan Wade, a finding that would have required Willis to be disqualified. An aid ship carrying 200 tons of food reached the Gaza coast today. The world's central kitchen aims to deliver the aid on a temporary jetty. Meanwhile, the charity is already loading a second ship with food and supplies in Cyprus.
So Megacap Tech was green yesterday. Overall markets were down. And now they're down and the overall markets are green. Amazon, Google, and
eliminating its rules on commissions.
Netflix.
That's according to the New York Times. The deal still needs a federal court's approval. It would put an end to legal claims from home sellers who argued the 6% sales commission forced them to pay excessive fees. Sarah, back to you.
All right, it's a big deal. Pippa, thank you. Checking in on the markets for about an hour into trading. They're slumping. S&P's down 0.4%. Nasdaq down 0.6%. We're wiping out the gains that we had so far this week near the lows of the session. Our next guest is looking for areas that hedge against excessive market optimism while providing exposure to growth themes beyond companies that are enabling AI. Morgan Stanley Wealth Management CIO Lisa Shallett joins us now. Lisa, good morning. Welcome. So explain what you mean. What is the strategy from here after what now, 17 of the last 20 weeks higher for the S&P?
Sure. So, look, I mean, I think our key thesis has been that there's tons of opportunity in this market, but it goes well beyond the Magnificent Seven. and this view that somehow, you know, the other 493 are not worthy or, you know, should be valued at multiples of, you know, 16 or 17 times when a handful of stocks are, you know, accorded multiples of 25, 30, and 35 times forward expectations.
See, JP Morgan
Where are those opportunities?
is get ready to
We're seeing
bump
that
right up into
all
resistance.
over the power
So I'm a little leery
generation,
on
infrastructure,
I'm a little
data
leery
center
on this one.
build-out,
I was looking at it and I'm like,
those ideas are in industrials,
eh.
actually in utilities, in energy, in clean, green, and traditional carbon capture and carbon, you know, transfer-oriented plays. We're seeing great ideas that are growth-oriented.
Fucking AMD, you
healthcare,
bastard,
that we
bro.
believe are undervalued and ultimately are backdoor plays on generative AI as we think about the speed of drug discovery and customization and personalized medicine.
So is your view that generative AI is going to transform margins and valuations in a much broader way than just the magnificent 7 or 6, and investors aren't pricing that in? Is that the thesis?
Yes, 100%. So, you know, we make the analogy of studying technology diffusion and looking at the winners of the internet. The winners of the internet were not the infrastructure enablers, right? Ultimately, the winners of the internet were those who adopted it to create new business models. They were the Googles, the Amazons of the world. And our best guess is it's going to be AI adopters ultimately who are the winners of generative AI. And that's where we're seeing the potential for adoption across the landscape of the market.
Something for investors to consider. Lisa, thank you. Got to keep it short today, but appreciate the call. Morgan Stanley Wealth Management
Absolutely.
CIO.
Always good to see you.
You too.
Well, still to come, energy stocks have been picking up steam this month. We'll take a look at some names that you might want to consider when Squawk on the Street returns.
The power of AI.
There are certain things you can do in a house that will last for the ages. TimberTech decking is one of those things. It was an obvious choice for all of the things that we wanted: appearance, durability. There is no other choice. It's that good. Are you over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days? I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuity.
So I'm just trying to look and see what like if I can just find something that's got a little meat on the bone. I liked AMD. So far AMD was oh my god. Bro.
Missiles to Russia.
Shut the cup, Usha. Fucking dumbass.
As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report. We researched numerous products and summarized rates and benefits of annuities.
Okay. Might be just one of those days. Might be one of those days.
BERB, Verb Technology, more intraday highs now, 47 cents, 48 cents now,
These those
238%
days.
BERB.
To more wellness solutions every day. Get more.
So you guys can see asset management, insurance starting to turn around. The overall markets are starting to turn around. Positive. God, bro. I gotta get a haircut this week. Nucor Steel. Oil and gas. A marathon. What is it? What is that? Valero. MPC. I'm not sure how. I'm not sure. Damn, look at that. See, it's starting to consolidate. Right there. Shit. Not sure. Dude, this thing just is continuously ripping higher.
Alike. I mean, are those beneficiaries as well of those higher prices? And in general, particularly given your energy infrastructure fund, sort of what are your thoughts on some of the names of your top holdings?
David, thanks for having me. So we really like Tortoise, the energy infrastructure story, simply because it's more of a volume story, less of a price
Kramer.
story. And so, you know, the U.S. is the largest
Energy, the best performing sector today, this week, this month, up more than 6% so
Up
far in March.
3%.
Maybe
I'm
behind
nervous
that.
about buying the highs.
Joining us now is Rob Fummel. He's the Tortoise Senior Portfolio Manager. Rob, good to have you. I mean, it's been a nice week for the underlying, or a nice month for the underlying commodities. You own a lot of the names of the transport things, such as natural gas and the like. I mean, are those beneficiaries as well of those higher prices? And in general, particularly given your energy infrastructure fund, sort of what are your thoughts on some of the names of your top holdings?
David, thanks for having me. So we really like Tortoise, the energy infrastructure story, simply because it's more of a volume story, less of a price and commodity sensitive story. And so, you know, the U.S. is the largest producer of energy in the world. The U.S. is the largest exporter of energy in the world. Those trends are just going to continue, and so that continued growth really supports the underlying cash flows of these companies.
I think gold might be a buy.
Really high dividend yields, and so
I think it could be a buy.
in our Tortoise
It's just my opinion there.
return fund. But it allows investors to
Think
get access to
I
compelling dividend yields that are 6,
I
7,
think
8, 9%.
gold, guys, would be a nice buy here.
The underlying efforts to perhaps
You know, you're buying the dip practically.
the fact that, you know, natural gas export terminals, for example,
Um,
that may have once been on
While it's going higher,
the drawing
it's
board.
showing you that it has strength.
In the LNG space globally.
Yeah. Not to mention our need for power, you know, and it's not going to all be renewables, is it?
No, it's not. And the other part is, and we've talked about this, and I know Ben's talked about it, is
All right, Microsoft trying to go. Come on, bro.
actually increase the need for power globally. But also,
Wait, was that GLD?
you're going to have data centers, you're going to need for power, you're going to need
Yeah, that was GLD.
power. Where does that come from? Well, natural gas really served that role as a low-cost, reliable power supplier, and really help develop data centers and help AI obviously grow from here.
Yeah, it's the key gating issue, as we pointed out many times, for the development of future data centers, as you say, to power this generative AI revolution. Natural gas is going to be a key. Appreciate your time, Bob. Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Still to come, Adobe shares sliding despite a beat on the top and bottom.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me, bro. So let's see here. Google's in an uptrend. It's pulling into that, what is that, Wednesday's pivot high. Could look for a nice little test up there at Wednesday's high. Be nice if we get the whole market to start to turn around a little bit. That would be nice. So far, that's a rejection of the 50-day. But I wonder if you can catch this bounce.
Uber says we'll be forced to stop operating a transport network in Minneapolis after minimum wage ordinance takes effect on May 1st. That's Uniform Bravo Echo Romeo UBER Uber.
Yeah, I don't understand why states and shit do that. Here's the thing, guys. Other than hitting that like button and subscribing, how do you create competition? You keep the states out of it, saying that this is a minimum that they need to be paid. No, it isn't. You're not running a business. They're not working for you. The government can charge what they want or pay their people what they want. But the government can't tell another business what they need to do and not do. Second, if they're not getting paid enough and someone else makes the same company but can do it at a lower cost and can pay them more, chances are all those people are going to leave and everybody's going to use that other app. Right? I mean, not like it's going to happen that quick, but that's how competition's created. Cheaper rides, people get paid more. You know, maybe you find ways to cut out a lot of the, you find ways to cut costs. What are you spending money on that you don't need? Can you just make it an app and not have too many people on payroll other than the drivers, but the people behind the business running the actual app? Can you cut that head count down? All right, so Microsoft there. Well, there we go. I told you guys. I said watch for that long. Off of 508. 509. Come on, why is this doing this to me? Like, seriously, come on now.
We can't calculate our total taxes.
Sales tax, real estate credits, solar incentive.
And we have no way to integrate all that.
No, but BDO does.
People who know BDO.
She ran this place like a puppy again.
His number two's a quit.
He's a brand new dog, all in less than a year.
When people switch their dogs food
These are
Farmers shop, they often say that it feels like magic, but there's no magic involved. It's simply fresh meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of dried pellets. Just food made for the health of dogs, delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do.
Moving forward with node-positive breast cancer is overwhelming, but I never just found my way. I made it and did all I could to prevent recurrence.
Verzenio reduces the risk of recurrence of HR-positive, HER2-negative, node-positive early breast cancer with a high chance of return.
Come on, gang. Let's get something here. Nice pullback on the SPY. Nice pullback. All right, so we got a little bit of resistance up there, possibly. We're just going to keep walking it up.
Verzenio, tell your doctor about any fever, chills, or other signs of infection. Verzenio may cause low white blood cell counts, which may cause serious infection that can lead to death. Life-threatening lung inflammation can occur. Tell your doctor about any new or worsening trouble breathing, cough, or chest pain. Serious liver problems can happen. Symptoms include fatigue, appetite loss, stomach pain, and bleeding or bruising. Blood clots that can lead to death have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have pain or swelling in your arms or legs, shortness of breath, chest pain, and rapid breathing or heart rate, or if you're nursing, pregnant, or plan to be.
I'm making my own way forward.
Talk to your doctor about reducing your risk.
At Baird, we have investor relationships in 35 countries and market expertise in over 40 industry verticals, all to help make the most important investment connections of all, yours. Discover the Baird difference at bairdifference.com. I had to buy something. Where are we supposed to do it? I don't know. Indiana.
Does anyone see anything that has like some relative strength, relative weakness in it?
Time-tested fixed income suite.
The Qs are not holding. I see that.
Helps investors meet their goals. PGIM Investments. Shaping tomorrow today.
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World.
CNBC's daily digital show has trading updates, the latest headlines, a global perspective, and high-profile interviews. Scan to watch CNBC's Crypto World, sponsored by Crypto.com.
Good Friday morning. Welcome to Money Movers. I'm Sarah Eisen with Mike Santoli live from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. How the last 2 months of higher inflation data is impacting the course of Federal Reserve rate cuts. PIMCO economist Tiffany Wilding is with us.
Then real estate titan Bill Rudin on a regional banking crisis and an uptick in leasing volumes in New York City.
Plus a mixed bag for retail. Some big swings in names like Ulta, Dick's, Dollar General, and Dollar Tree this week. The read on the U.S. consumer this hour. Right now, though, in the markets, we are seeing the S&P 500 lower, but it's come off of the lower levels earlier this morning. We were down more than 0.5%. We're down 0.4 as groups like financials turn green. Nasdaq's underperforming.
Yeah, financials are leading today.
It's hurting today, thanks in part to Adobe and the double-digit decline in the stock, but also Microsoft is lower as well. Nvidia going the other way, it's higher, even though we have seen a bit of a correction lately. On the week, we still have energy outperforming while software and semis are lagging. So a bit of a change in direction from some of the leaders of the market this week.
Yeah, bit of reshuffling. It's the market's attempt to kind of rotate away from the parts of the market that needed to pull back and cool off. We'll see. It's probably a lot to ask that it can remain just this flawless. That every time you do have some of the big mega cap bellwethers have a pullback and make it up on some of these, the more laggard stocks. But it's been the case right now. I do think this week has been interesting in the sense that not just if you had this mechanical stuff, is Nvidia too overbought going into its conference next week, but you do have interesting stuff on yields and the macro and a little more choppy data flow.
Well, we have yields rising on the week ahead of a Fed meeting next week and ahead of a Bank of Japan meeting. Bank of Japan expected to exit negative rates. The Federal Reserve, we're wondering if they're going to change their tune
If
at
they're
all.
going to defer or whatever, the first rate cut. The market seems to think that diminished chances of June. We'll see how that goes. In fact, what does the latest inflation data mean for the Fed's rate cut outlook? Our Steve Leisman joins to talk all about that. Hey, Steve.
Hey, good morning, Mike. Yeah, there is risk in next week's Fed meeting that the projections for their economic and rate outlook, the so-called dot plot, after 2 months of inflation report made little progress towards the Fed goal. There's some risk they step it down. The median Fed official in December is the December forecast, but for GDP of 1.4, well, we're running a little bit hotter than that. Core PCE of 2.4, but Wall Street thinks the February core PCE will be 2.8, and then the Fed forecasts the funds rate at 4.6. Let's take a look at or 3 cuts. But if just 2 of the 19 officials decide the Fed should cut only twice and move to the right there, then the median moves to 2 cuts. For the Fed, it comes down to a question of how to think about the past 2 months of inflation. Are they signs of a stall in the progress of inflation that will last for a while, or are they just noise? Vanguard chief economist Joe Davis talked in this morning. He says the balance of risk has shifted to the Fed cutting prematurely until the labor market is more in balance. The progress on inflation is not a foregone conclusion. Futures markets, they began the year looking for the funds rate to end at 3.8 or 160 basis points of cuts. That's gone. The contract now trades at 456, just 80 basis points of cuts built in. More or less, that's right around where the Fed is at 325 basis points.
I think I'm gonna end this stream, guys. I'm really tired.
And if you watched, Squawk Box in Times Square back then, nobody
It's a
was
late
on the
night.
streets. Today, in Times Square and throughout the city, there's a vibrancy that's back. The city, you feel it. You feel it walking through the streets. People are coming back to their offices. Times Square. I think
Fuck.
18 new Broadway shows are going to open this spring per the New York Post today, and so that's all exciting. We're seeing leasing activity. We have a building literally right across the street. We just signed a lease with a international law firm, Kilpatrick. We own another building up on Broadway and 52nd Street where Gannett is moving their headquarters from Virginia into that building. So these are all signs that there are positive things. And also, people are back into their offices. Midweek, our buildings are about 80% occupied, the Class A buildings. Total average during the Monday through Friday is about 67%. So people are coming back to work.
Looks like the market's getting ready to cool down. You can see this volatility's been getting demolished. Volatility is getting killed.
Depends on the industry. Financial service.
We'll see what happens here at 11 o'clock, but
September of 2020, they were all back 5 days a week. Citadel, JP Morgan, you name them, they were all back. But that's filtering through to other businesses. But some will never come back, or some will, be hybrid. It just depends. But you walk around the streets midweek, you can't get in a restaurant. You're feeling that energy that New York is known for.
I mean, it's 4 years since the COVID lockdown, which means it's 4 years since people have been saying there's got to be another shoe to drop in terms of general commercial real estate values, or there's got to be banks that have to have this reckoning. I mean, the longer we go, it seems as if time is kind of rationalizing, I guess, the values of office and other properties on banks' books. And how does it work?
You're spot on. There was a deal just a few blocks north of here, 222 Broadway, that was sold for $180 a foot, which a few years ago would have been $500 a foot. So the prices are coming down. That building will be converted to residential, just like a building that we own a few blocks from here at 55 Broad. We were partnering with Larry Silverstein and Nathan Berman to convert that into 500 units, and then a couple of blocks either east at 25 Water Street, another development team is turning over a building that was 1 million feet, former JP Morgan back office. We need housing. That's a big issue for the city. We have a supply constrained city. Other cities are seeing incredible supplies, and their prices are coming down. You go to the southern part of the country, Nashville, other cities are going to see prices come down. We need the city, the state, and the mayor and the governor have been very supportive of doing tax incentives to get back to where we were producing 20,000 units a year. Now we're producing only 9 or 10,000 because the tax abatement went away, and we need the ability to convert obsolete office buildings like we're doing downtown in Midtown. And the mayor has a plan called City of Yes. The governor is focused on allowing, change in the multiple dwelling laws and the zoning, and a robust tax abatement to incentivize.
look, you can see here, Adobe is hurting Microsoft. Like everything is turning green. Oil, a lot of Dow names. See, but just technology is just can't do it. Just can't do it. MPC now up 3%.
Another channel this morning talking about opportunistic events. So just like that trade at 222 Broadway at a huge discount, you need the prices to come down, where then capital will flow and opportunity will be created. There will definitely be people who are hurt, but it won't be
Tech is having a day, man.
bloodletting on the street.
SoFi. Let's see what SoFi is doing. See if SoFi and the financials can get a bounce. SoFi is just really weak, unfortunately. Oh shit, my coffee. I have a coffee. Hold up. I know automotive was doing well. Let's see. That's it?
Tenants want to come because they want to get their employees back into the office. They want to have them with the right atmosphere and the right, new designs, open space, gym, wellness, food, and lounges and Another positive I think is AI. We haven't really talked about that in terms of impact.
Are you serious? 4 fucking views in an hour? Yeah, I gotta cut the stream. Alright, guys. You guys have a good one. Fucking 4 views. That's so crazy. 40 minutes. Alright, guys. You guys have a great day. I'm out of here.